Colin, we're talking about testosterone boosters in general. What are the herbal extracts or the kind of plant sources or things that are used for testosterone boosting? What all kinds of plant extracts have you seen being used in testosterone boosters?
Some of the biggest testosterone boosters or purported testosterone boosters over the last, decade or so. Tribulus is the one that a lot of people associate with testosterone boosting. The research has been very inconclusive on that. D-aspartic acid is a more recent addition in terms of testosterone boosting. One of the most interesting ones, which is what we're talking about mainly here, is Fenugreek, and that one that has been in several supplements, that's been on the market for a very long time, has a lot of interesting applications in terms of its potential to increase testosterone. So several studies have been published on Fenugreek as an extract in increasing testosterone levels.
Is it true that you can have a fenugreek extract, but there may be differences between the fenugreek extracts as well?
Yeah, so there are many, there are a lot. In fact, at one time I was told as many as 32 different extractions from fenugreek, or from this fenugreek stem alone. And so seeing a fenugreek product on the market, whether it's marketed for one of its many health benefits, then there are several, doesn't mean that two fenugreek products on the shelf are the exact same thing. It matters how they are chemically extracted, or what chemicals rather are extracted out of them that actually have potential to have different benefits from one fenugreek product to another. While one may be used for lactation, another one may be used for blood glucose control, and now it appears that there is an extraction that can actually increase free testosterone levels.
So it is possible to have a fenugreek extract product that increases or rather does aromatase inhibition and thus increases total testosterone, but doesn't bind enough to SHBG to cause any increase in free testosterone.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's the thing. It's confusing for consumers, because it would be like any other product on the market. If we're talking about creatine, trying to say one creatine is different than another, that creatine citrate is different than creatine monohydrate. All they see is creatine. Same could be said for fenugreek, in that they see that as a product, or they see that as an ingredient in a product and assume that they're all the same, but they're not. So yeah, it's possible that different chemical extractions of fenugreek, or chemical compositions of fenugreek, can have a different effect. So some may actually increase total testosterone, where others may have an SHBG binding effect and increase free testosterone as well.
So let me summarize. Again, you're the one who's going to tell me if I'm right or wrong about this, but let me summarize. Testosterone boosters, a lot of them on the market. Most of them are tribulus terrestris based. D-aspartic acid is one new entrant into the market. You've got Long Jack that used to be there for some time. And all of these have not really appeased you as a scientist when it comes to clinical trials. Forget about real world results. Even the data in the clinical trials was insignificant to support their purported claims. Fenugreek seemed to have the best result amongst all of them, fenugreek extracts, but all fenugreek extracts are not the same. And would it be correct then to say that it was only Andropique that showed an increase in total testosterone as well as free testosterone?
Yeah, so yes, I would agree with most of your statements there, and that is the overwhelming evidence does not support the idea that most of these testosterone boosters work. In fact, we've done several studies in our lab on many of these ingredients mentioned that did not have a positive effect. And so if I were writing a lay article about testosterone boosters, I would say that most of these purported testosterone boosters don't work. Over the last handful of years, since maybe 2006, 2007, one of the ingredients that showed the most promise is fenugreek. And you see this as represented by the market, because there's a lot of products now that have fenugreek. You see that the market has recognized, the research has supported fenugreek as a testosterone booster. But just because it's increasing total testosterone doesn't necessarily mean it's increasing free. Andropique that we tested is one, as I've said before, that did show increases in free testosterone. So that would separate it from some of the others. I certainly haven't read every study on every product out there, but to my knowledge, that's one of the few that has shown an increase in free testosterone.